What's up, you homunculi? We're back with Ring of Honor 2004, Episode 6. I found out what episode it is this time, and to start things off, we have the regional battle results for, what is this, April? We finished first out of everywhere because we are Ring of Honor. Doug, he's gone. I knew that was going to happen. And the Amazing Red, he's gone too. He's gone to TNA, I think. Yeah, doesn't matter. Look at his baby face. We don't need him. But that's it for this. Let's get into Reborn, Stage 1 now. To start things off, in front of 5,000 people at the Henrietta Dome Arena, we don't have any pre-show matches or anything like that. We start off with Dustin Rhodes and Bryan Danielson in the ring. Well, it starts off with Dustin, right? He's in the ring. He thinks he's made a pretty good showing the past couple of months and proved himself to be a contender for the world title. He challenges Bryan Danielson, and he comes out and he accepts the match. That will be in the main event. Yeah. There's not much else. 75 B minus. Let's continue. In the first match, we have Dan Maff taking on Just Incredible, and about that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. Dan Maff defeats Just Incredible in 9:53 by pinfall with an inverted Death Valley driver, which I already forgot the name of that. The Burning Hammer. That's the actual name for that. They don't seem to click mid for an awkward bout. 43-44 combines for the 47D. No improvements. On to the next segment. We got Xavier and the Backstreet Boys taking on Izzy and the Spanish Announce team. And about that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. Xavier and the Backstreet Boys defeat Izzy and the Spanish Announce team when Xavier defeated Joel Maximo by pinfall with a 450 degrees of fear after George Frankenstein, his new manager, interfered. In terms of ring work, Jose was head and shoulders above everybody else. Isn't that usual now? She did some good work at ringside. He's not suited to his gimmick. 48, 39, 31, 44, 40, and 59. Joel is improving in flying skills, so he's coming up. He's gonna catch up to Jose pretty soon. 52D plus. Look at this. That's a lot of negatives. Next up. Trent Acid was wasted on drugs, as usual. I'll be sure to deal with that after the show. And about that, had decent wrestling, but little heat. The Purists defeat the Carnage Crew in tag team action in 11:40 when John Walters defeats Tony DeVito by pinfall with a twisting power bomb. That sounds amazing. Not much else to say about that. Off his game. 50D plus. Not too bad. Not too bad. Next up, we have Jerry Lynn defending his Ring of Honor Pure Championship against Josh Daniels. And about that, had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Jerry Lynn defeats Josh in 15:46 by pinfall with a cradle pile driver. Jerry Lynn makes defense number 3 of his pure title. I am fucking absolutely retarded. Jerry Lynn's not suited to his gimmick. I don't know what it is, but I feel like he is actually suited to it. But the game is retarded. Jerry Lynn had a 75, Josh 46. Poorly placed. The technical match isn't the right thing to feed a rowdy crowd, but technical matches are all what the pure title is. No improvement. Just a couple of negatives. Not too bad, not too bad. 61C. Next up, we have Deranged taking on Chris Sabin. And about that, had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Sabin defeats Deranged in 8:22 by pinfall with a future shock. Becky Bayless did some good work at ringside. Deranged and Becky are not a good combination. He's probably going to talk about wanting to remove her as his manager. 50D plus, no improvement. What did I tell you? Next up, we have a segment featuring CM Punk, Colt Cabana, Jay Briscoe, and Mark Briscoe. The Second City Saints are in the ring. They call the Briscoe brothers out. They say, we want one last match. We want a first blood, or I put last blood match, but they don't have a last blood match in the game database. They didn't feel like making one. So that's a typo. Can I fix that? Yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, first blood match they accept because, foreshadowing from last month where they got in the brawl and then they started bleeding everywhere. Foreshadowing. 45D. Jay Briscoe's not suited. Some more storyline advancement. No worker improvements. Next up, we have Jack Evans taking on Caprice Coleman. And about that, a decent wrestling but little heat. Jack Evans defeats Caprice in 8:12 by pinfall with a corkscrew moonsault. I decided to give Jack a match that he can beat someone, some scrub. since he performed well last show. So he proved he can do some good stuff. So we gave him a match, 49D plus. Next up, we have Steve Corino taking on Nigel McGuinness, the now commentator for WWE's UK tournament. That will be pretty nice. So we have about that a great wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Steve Corino defeats Nigel in 12:02 by pinfall with an old school expulsion. Nigel's not suited to his gimmick. Steve Corino had an in-ring performance of 84, Nigel a 49. No improvement, surprisingly enough. I figured Nigel would pick up a thing or two, but that did not happen. 72 B minus. Pretty nice, if I do say so myself. And next up, and about that also had great wrestling, and this time good heat. AJ Styles defeats Low-Key and Sanjay Dutt in 14:27 when Styles defeats Low-Key by pinfall with the Styles Clash. 76 B minus. Pretty good. 74 from AJ, 68 from Low-Key, 60 from Sanjay. We actually have some improvements for once. AJ in performance, Sanjay in Rumble. Next up, whoops, wrong button. Next up, we have the Briscoes taking on the Second City Saints in that tag team match. And about that, a decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. The Second City Saints defeat the Briscoe brothers at a first blood match in 26:11. Colt Cabana was eliminated first, then Jay, and finally Mark. I guess this was a last blood match. It didn't say elimination, it just said blood, so anyway, I'm confused. I don't know how this game works anymore. Second City Saints make defense number 3 of the tag team titles, and that should end the feud between them. The heated feud, it culminated. Some say too soon, but I say it's never too soon. We don't want these men to kill themselves over this. No improvements. A good bit of positives and a good bit of negatives balances out. 48D plus. Next up, in the main event, we have Bryan Danielson versus Dustin Rhodes, and about to head superb wrestling and great heat. Bryan Danielson defeats Dustin Rhodes in 1906 by pinfall the Dragon Suplex, following botched interference by Samoa Joe. Bryan makes defense number 1 of his title. So Samoa Joe, he didn't have a match. He was angry about losing his title. People thought that it was going to be over after the steel cage match. Nope, not at all. He comes out and just decimates Dustin on accident. He was trying to clothesline the piss out of Bryan, but missed, and then that led to Dustin losing his title shot. 72-70, 78B. Next up, we have the segment afterwards. Dustin Rhodes, he gets up. He's thoroughly beaten. Samoa Joe's still in the ring looking mad as shit after Bryan books it. And then Dustin gets up and starts giving him the hand. Samoa Joe doesn't know what is coming to him, and he tosses him over the rope somehow. And yeah, that furthers that storyline, I guess. So we're gonna have a 3-way storyline now. Oh shit, I just revealed my plans. Fuck! Anyway, 71C plus, no improvement. End of the show. 74 B minus improved air popularity in 2 regions. I think that's our best show right now. We're definitely gonna give Dustin some encouragement. Bryan, we're gonna compliment him, and then who else was it? Steve Corino was real nice. We'll give him a hug. Make the speech. Seem pleased. Was happy. Scott Young, he looks like a young man. He teams up with Sean Riddick off the hook. Seems like a very Ring of Honor team. I'll think into signing them. And we're actually at the top of the news page today. We drew 5,000 fans. Excuse me, I am garbage. I am just dead today. Reborn Stage 1 at the Henrietta Dome. It was awesome. We sold out. We had 37,000 people watching on TV. It was fantastic. What's this? Pay rise request from Steve. Yes, you deserved it. All $390 of it. Trent, the druggie. I can't send him to rehab. Can I suspend him? No. I don't want to fire him. I'll fine him one more time. If he does some more meth or whatever, he does heroin. He died of a heroin overdose, right? I'm gonna have to fire him. So that's definitely gonna happen again. And CM Punk's unhappy now. Thanks, Trent. What else? Is there anything else I need to show? I doubt it. We had a pretty good profit. And we have stage 2 up next. I'm not going to do that in this episode. You're going to have to wait for the next one. So I'll see you guys later, you homunculi.